Hey everybody, welcome back to Battle Ready Inc. So BT9 is releasing next week. So we got to go through all these cards. We got to figure out which ones are the best, which ones are worth picking up, and just kind of what the set overall feels like. Yeah, that we recently had the EX2 get released, but that was a side set. This is a main set, so it's okay. After this, we'll have like 3 months without any more sets. So we actually finally are caught up with the original plan for release dates for all these sets. So now we'll have our regular stacked every 3 months releases. It feels nice to finally be here. Hopefully we don't have any more delays. We can finally get into these sets. So we're going to go through each and every color of this set. We're going to break it up into multiple videos. So we'll do, red, blue, green, yellow, all that stuff. Each in its own individual video. So if there's a certain color you're really excited about, go find that video. Also, if you're going to be a green fan for this format, check out our Guyomon. This is handmade out of clay by my wife, hand-painted as well. A fantastic memory marker. If you're a Terriermon fan, a Gargomon fan, or just a green fan in general, I think this thing is super, super cute. Also, if you got our Cocomon, this is a great combo piece to go with your Cocomons as well. Really, really like this. You can find that on our Etsy store, link in the description below. Also there, you can find all of our previous memory markers that we featured on the channel, as well as some of our Battle Ready Inc. merch. Alright, so let's go ahead and jump in here. We'll start with red. First up, we've got Coramon. We'll take a look at these box toppers because they look incredible. I do believe these are box toppers, yeah. I opened a pack of JP and they were box toppers there. So this inheritable, your turn, while this Digimon has Agumon or Greymon in its name, it gets 1000 DP. Coramon is okay. We have a ton of Coramons. We have a ton of just Agumon support in general. However, I will say this is a nice, just generic one. We do have a lot of X-Antibody Greymon support in this set, so it kind of makes sense that they're going to want to give us a baby that goes with those. We've got Guyomon in the last set in EX2, so it kind of makes sense they don't want to give us another Guyomon 2 sets in a row. So I guess Coramon was going to be the better pick anyways. And then this is just nice because most of the Coramons that we've got are like really kind of restricted to certain levels and that sort of thing. So this is really nice for whether you're playing like a Black War Greymon deck or a regular Red War Greymon deck or X-Antibody deck. It's really nice because it's generic for both. And then speaking of Agumon, we've got the new rookie here in the form of Agumon X Antibody. So we're going to see this trend a lot, but Digivolve for 0 on top of other Agumons. It is a rookie itself, so you can Digivolve this for 0. This is an alternative Evo cost. It's in the black box. Just like Armors, this is an alternative Evo cost, meaning you can use this in Raising Area. You can use the 0 Evo cost. Now, the when Digivolving effect, you cannot use in Raising Area, so it's gonna remember that effects still don't work, but this alternative Evo cost does work in a Raising Area. So you can Evo this on top of your Agumon in Raising Area and get a free draw off of it because it is still technically an Evo, which is what makes X-Antibodies super good. Is they're consistent beyond belief because they draw an extreme amount because they Evo for free on top of their counterparts. So they're super I forget the word, consistent. They're super consistent just because they draw a whole bunch. So on play or when Digivolving, reveal the 3 cards from the top of your deck, add 1 X-Antibody card and 1 card with Greymon or Omnimon in its name among them to your hand. Place remaining cards on the bottom of the deck in any order. So this is a searcher. So your typical rookie on-play searcher. However, I do like the fact that it also has the when Digivolving, so you can like hard play an Agumon, say like off of a Nokia, and then you get like a search from that Agumon, and then immediately Digivolve this X-Antibody on top of that Agumon to get a draw and immediately another search. This is super powerful card. A lot of the searcher X-Antibody rookies in this whole set for multiple colors are all really, really fantastic. I mean, so much so that they literally gave an alt art to our rookie, and that's good. Like, look at that. That's a epic. Look at the War Greymon in the background there. Very, very awesome. I'm very excited for this. But Guyomon also here, 0 Evo cost on top of your other Guyomons here, because this is an X-Antibody. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less. This is very much in line with what EX2 Gallantmon, the whole package, is doing. It's all about when Digivolving and deleting, when attacking and deleting. So this like works perfectly with the EX2 stuff. Like, it's really nice that we've come to the point where the next set, after a set comes out, they don't just completely forget about the previous set and then do a whole new thing. They're continuing on with certain strategies, right? Giving it more support, fleshing some decks out a little bit more. And this is perfect for EX2 Gallantmon, Guyomon decks. And has the inheritable of your turn, add 1,000 to the maximum DP you can choose with DP-based deletion effects. So this is very similar to the War Growlmon that we saw in EX2. This is the same thing. It's just we're getting it on a rookie. So you can really bump up those deletion effects by DP. So very, very powerful. Next, we've got a new vanilla. I did skip over one vanilla there. I do need to go back and grab that. This is just, it's another vanilla. 0 Evo, 2 play cost, 3,000 DP. We've seen it a ton of times. The point of these, I stress this every time, I'm pretty sure is because it adds in a new like word typing here. So you got a type of mini dragon now. So later on, I feel like these keywords are going to be so much more important down the road. So every set they're just like, well, here's a couple more, here's a couple more, just throw in a couple of vanillas. We don't know what the mini dragon strategy will be yet, so let's just add in a couple of vanillas, so that way by the time we do get to the point of these typings really mattering, we'll have some existing in the game already that people can pick from. So I think it's really nice. Like, yeah, it's a filler card for a set, but it's a filler card that could be very useful down the road. And same for this level 4, just continuing right on with it. This is a dinosaur, level 4 type, vanilla. So just kind of keeping on with the trend there. Just a little bit different stats. So 2 Evo and 7,000 DP. Now we got Growlmon X Antibody. So 0 Evo cost on top of Growlmon. We've already discussed it. The 0 Evo cost, just giving you draws. Lots and lots of draws there. And then same inheritable as the Guyomon. You add another 1,000 to your deletion effects. So you can really stack these up and put them, the War Growlmon on top of this one. That's a plus 3,000. And then you go with the Gallantmon from EX2. It's a more of a boost as well. So you can get some crazy powerful deletion effects. Like all these guys stacked together, and with a Gallantmon, you use them in combination with something like Crimson Blaze, and Crimson Blaze is a freaking nuke. I mean, it's already super good, but you use it in the context of this like specific kind of Gallantmon deck, and whoa, golly, Crimson Blaze is freaking amazing. But continue on, we got Greymon now. Greymon X Antibody, 0 Evo cost on top of Greymon. Really dig it. This effect is super cool. Blue has one also like this, but all turns, if an effect would delete this Digimon with Greymon or Omnimon in its name, or return it to the owner's hand or deck, you may prevent it from leaving play by discarding 2 cards with the same level in this card's Digivolution cards. So you get your 2 Agumons, you got your 2 Greymons, and then your 2 Metal Greymons. So that's going to be 3 different times you can keep your Mega on field. Very, very powerful effect here. Really, really dig it. Really cool. Now we got an Omni Shoutmon X Antibody. First time we've seen seen Shoutmon support in ages. I mean, when was it last? BT4, BT5 that we saw? I think it was BT5 that we saw Shoutmon last. And it's nice that, we're getting a little bit more support for it. Yeah, we're going to get the BT10 support, but it's a different type of deck. That Shoutmon deck is way different from the original Shoutmon deck that we saw back in BT5. So this is very much a continuation onto the BT5 stuff. So 0 Evo on top of your Omni Shoutmons. When Digivolving Blitz. So very Omni Shoutmon sort of style here. And then your turn, while this Digimon has Omni Shoutmon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, this Digimon can also attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Only 8,000 DP though, so you're going to need to get some DP buff going on this guy. But still got some good potential here for, a really easy level 5 addition to go with your other Omni Shoutmons from the original deck. So it's just nice that they included it. A little bit of support. We're going to see that in a couple of the other colors as well. It's like, hey, here's this old card, or here's this one card, this one-of card to support this old strategy. Bring it, make it a little bit more relevant. And I really dig that. I appreciate that, especially if you're just a fan of that deck and it's just getting more and more obscure and irrelevant. It's like, hey, here's a little bit of a boost to help you out here, so you can keep enjoying your deck. All right, now we got the War Groundmon X Antibody, 0 Evo cost on top of the War Groundmon. And then when Digivolving, until the next time your opponent's turn ends, 2 of your opponent's Digimon gain on deletion, lose 1 memory. Then, if this Digimon has a War Groundmon or X Antibody in its Digivolution cards, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 6,000 or less and delete them. That's a lot going on. Like, that's a whole lot of stuff, but it's really, really cool because you can go 2 Evo, or go 3 Evo, pop 2 things, and then gain 2 memory back, potentially, if you pick those targets with this guy, making him kind of like a 1 Evo cost normally, or just a +2 memory. If you go 0 Evo on top of War Groundmon, and then use his When Digivolving effect, you just gain 2 memory. Like, you just Digivolve into this guy and gain 2 memory. Like, how crazy of an effect is that? And you clear 2 bodies on your opponent's side of the field. And you remember, you combine this with something like the other War Groundmon, and then your Groundmon and Guyomon, and that's going to be plus 3k on that. That's 9,000 DP or less. So, this guy can get pretty nasty, pretty gnarly, pretty quick. Really like it. Now we got the Metal Greymon X Antibody, 0 Evo on top of your Metal Greymons, of course. Pretty other standard. I know I haven't really been talking about these stats very much, but it's very typical for whatever the level is. When Digivolving, this Digimon gains Security Attack +1. Okay, I think that's it. You just instantly get Security Attack +1. Goes 0 Evo cost on top of a Metal Greymon, boom. Security Attack +1. And then, so until the end of your opponent's turn. Then, if Metal Greymon or X Antibody is in this Digimon's Digivolution sources, this Digimon gets plus 3,000 DP until the end of your opponent's turn. So, literally for free, you just Evo this guy on top of your Metal Greymon. Like, say he's like Metal Greymon's chilling in a raising area. You promote up your Metal Greymon, Evo this guy on top of it for 0, get Security Attack +1 and 3k DP for free, draw a card, and then you Evo into your Mega and start swinging. Very, very powerful card. The X Antibody stuff is so cool this set. There's so much good stuff going on. Like, literally almost all the cards we talked about have been amazing. Like, everything we've looked at so far, except for, like, the vanillas, right? Everything else has been amazing. Really, really loving everything that we're getting in this format. So War Greymon X Antibody is our next one. This guy looks so sweet. I dig the whole like mech redesign that they got going on here. So 4 Evo costs normally on top of level 5, pretty steep there. Or Digivolve for 1 on top of a War Greymon. Very X Antibody. All turns when a card is removed from your opponent's security stack, gain 1 memory. So say you swing in for like 3 security checks with this guy, you just get 3 memory back. Or say you swing in with your rookie, right? And your rookie crashes into security. You gain 1 memory back. It's not just when he does it or anything like that. It's anytime your opponent, and it's all turns. So if your opponent say they Blinding Ray, they only get the 1 memory because they're going to gain 2 for the Blinding Ray, and then the War Greymon effect is going to lower them by 1. So it's all turns. So that's so crazy. Say something like a TK gets played, and TK, they take a card out and they add a card. Well, they take that card out and boom, they lose a memory. So that 4 play cost TK becomes a 5 play cost TK with War Greymon X Antibody on field. And that's all turns. It's not once per turn or anything like that. So if they keep doing stuff, like multiple Zoes or something like that, yeah, this is a pretty cool, like, little bit of a neat tech card against like hybrid decks. And then end of attack, once per turn, if this Digimon has War Greymon or X Antibody in its Digivolution sources, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with DP less than or equal to this Digimon's DP. And this is end of attack on your turn. We all know that red has tons of DP boosts, especially if you combine it with like the Metal Greymon that we saw a second ago, giving it a plus 3k, and then any of your Agumons that are giving it DP buffs as well. Like, this thing can very easily be over 15,000 DP. So very, very awesome, just like to instantly pop something huge, like absolutely monstrous on field. This is a very powerful card. This is a very, very good Mega. If you're a War Greymon, like tribal sort of player, you're going to love having this at your disposal. All right, jumping over into Gallantmon X Antibody. So again, if you're a Gallantmon fan and you've been playing EX2 Gallantmon, you're going to love this X Antibody because it works perfectly with that. So 4 Evo costs normally, like most Gallantmons, or 1 on top of another Gallantmon. When Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with the lowest DP. If you did not delete a Digimon with this effect, unsuspend this Digimon. So we've kind of seen this before, like in the starter deck version, so that's pretty cool. Being able to unsuspend though is really nice, because normally it's like a DP buff. Being able to unsuspend though, so say you swing with your other Gallantmon and then delete a whole bunch of things, because when attacking delete something and yada yada yada, clear your opponent's field. All right, get some security checks off, and then evo into this Gallantmon for 1, unsuspend and attack again. That's really, really nice. Great card. Your turn, once per turn, when opponent's Digimon is deleted, if this Digimon has Gallantmon or X antibody in its Digivolution cards, trash the top card of your opponent's security stack. So again, very Gallantmon. Gallantmon is all about trashing your opponent's security without actually swinging into it. So this card is just an absolute wonderful complement to the EX2 Gallantmon. Absolutely love it. And then just kind of finishing off here, we got Dino Rexmon, 5 Evo cost on top of red or green, 13,000 DP. We've seen this before in stuff like Nidhoggmon, and this has super big Nidhoggmon vibes to it. When Digivolving, for each of your opponent's Tamers, suspend one of your opponent's Digimon and gain 1 memory. Cool. Okay, so we can kind of reduce our Evo cost here on this guy, especially against those Tamer heavy decks. And then all turns, once per turn, when your opponent's Digimon with 6,000 DP or less is suspended, you may delete that Digimon. So not only do we just suspend a whole bunch of things on our opponent's side of the field, we gain a bunch of memory back, and then we just pop them. Like, what a cool card. What a cool card. Like, it's so random and just like out of nowhere, it feels like I don't know why they included this card, but it's still cool they did. I dig it. It's awesome. So really digging the red stuff here. Now we're gonna go take a look at the duo color stuff as well that contains red. First we got Rise Greymon X antibody. So Digivolve 1 from Rise Greymon. 4 Evo cost, normally really steep, especially on a level 5, but looking at like the Metal Greymon duo color that we saw last format, that card was really powerful even for a level 5. This has like basically the same thing going for it here. So when Digivolving, you may play 1 red or yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. No like play cost restriction, so it can be 4 or 3, 2, whatever. That's very Rise Greymon. Rise Greymon, that's what both the red and the yellow versions in the past have done. Then, if this Digimon has Rise Greymon or X antibody in its Digivolution cards, one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 2,000 DP for each of your red or yellow Tamers for the turn. So this is like a mini Rise Greymon right here, or a mini Shine Greymon, sorry. So for every one of your Tamers, you get a minus 2,000 on one of your opponent's Digimon. That's really cool. I mean, especially for 1 Evo cost, being able to do all of that, play a Tamer, right? Like 1 Evo cost, I get to play a Tamer, and then I just get a minus 2k on something, like for every Tamer I have. That's so cool. That's such a great Rise Greymon-like thing right there. And then your turn, this Digimon gets plus 1,000 DP for each Tamer you have in play. Again, very Shine Greymon-esque. Like, this so great. I mean, if you've been a fan of Shine Greymon in the past and just kind of want to play the deck for fun, this will make you so happy, because this is a wonderful include for that deck. Also, it's a rare, so it will be foiled, and I'm all about having foiled rares in my deck, making them look super good. Very great card. I love it. Again, just kind of, here's this one-off card for this older, like, more obscure deck. Have fun with it. And it's very, very cool. I'm so happy with Bandai right now. Next, we got a new Monochrome on here. This is a blocker like its predecessor, but 2 Evo cost. Red or black, I like the genericness, and he's a duo color. 6,000 DP, so a little bit better than that old Monochrome. However, when attacking, lose 3 memory. Ouch. I feel like you'd just be better off playing whatever color deck you're playing. If you're playing like a red deck, just play the Coramon. If you're playing a black deck, just play the Sealsdramon and call it a day. Unless you just desperately need the duo color for some reason. I don't know, even in like a black or Greymon deck, I don't think having a duo color is like that important, because all their level 5s can Digivolve on top of either color anyways. So I'm not a big fan of that one. This card, though, this card is super nice. We've needed more cards like this in the game. So Megaloblaster, level 5 here, 4 Evo cost. Again, red or black, similar to like the Shine or the Rise Greymon that we just saw. 4 Evo cost on level 5 is very, very steep. So you need a like a really good effect to make up for that. When digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less. Being able to delete Tamers is always good. It's so rare of an effect. Hybrid decks get away with so much crap because they can just like, oh, I'm going to play this Tamer, and it's essentially them hard playing a rookie that your opponent just can't delete very easily. So having something like a Megaloblaster here for, you know, your Machine Drumon decks, or, you know, your Black War Greymon decks, whatever the case may be, you know, this is a fantastic include for those decks. And then inheritable here, when attacking, when this Digimon has Machine or Dragonkin in its traits, delete one of your opponent's Digimon or Tamer with a play cost of 3 or less. Yeah, so nothing else to really say. A great card, very much needed in this this game in general. Next, we got the Guyomon here, and for those that you don't know, this is my favorite, #1 favorite Digimon ever. Maybe not the card itself. The artwork is amazing, but it's still super cool. This is basically like, you know, a weeb's like wet dream kind of thing. It's War Greymon with samurai armor. Like, how awesome of a concept is that? I love that. 5 Evo cost on red or black, 13,000 DP. That is steep. However, 2 cost on top of a Black War Greymon, so that's not too bad. And then this card / Digimon is also treated as having Greymon in its name. That's fantastic. So you can use stuff like Nokia to reduce the Evo cost on this, and that helps a ton. It being a Greymon, so you can get that Nokia value, and then security attack +1 and reboot. So that's, you get the red benefit there as well as the black benefit. And then when digivolving, if the Digimon has a black Digivolution card, one of your opponent's Digimon de-digivolve 1, and if this Digimon has a red Digivolution card, Blitz, which the deck that this goes in is all filled with dual colors, so you'll be able to trigger both of those pretty much every time. So even if you do Evo for 5 on top of a level 5, the fact that you can Blitz immediately with security attack +1 is pretty solid, and de-digivolve something, and then immediately reboot afterwards. So if you have something like the Megaloblaster that gives blocker inheritable underneath, you know, that's pretty solid. Although that's just a black, so you got to kind of make sure you manage that a little bit there. But still a fabulous card. Super excited for this. Very cool stuff. I'm really excited to see what this alt art looks like in person here. Here it looks like there's a whole lot of white on it and like super shiny, and it's like hard to actually see the colors. I don't know, maybe the in person it won't be so like drastic like that. I like this one just because the colors on it are so vibrant. But we'll see. We'll see. Both. I'll probably just get both just to cover my bases. Very excited. All right, and then moving on here into our Tamers. First up, we got Kari and Tai, or Tai and Kari, new duo color Tamer. Oh, you're gonna see a lot of this card. Just get used to it now. You're going to see a lot of this card. 4 play cost. Start of your turn, if you have 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 3 or fewer security cards, gain 1 memory. Your turn, when your red or yellow Digimon attacks, you may suspend this Tamer to give all your opponent's security Digimon minus 2,000 DP for the turn. So this card is super good in the yellow-red hybrid decks, okay? Being able to activate both your red or your yellow options off this, or your duo color options, even better. As well as, unlike the original TK and Kari that we had, where it gives you 2 memory if you have lower security than your opponent, I like this because it awards you for being offensive. If your opponent is just trying to slow roll and not swing into your security, and you want to get like really aggressive and start swinging on your opponent, this card will benefit you for doing that, okay? It's not like a TK and Kari where it's like, oh my god, why don't you just attack me so I can get some memory? This is like, you know what, fine, if you're not going to attack me, I'm going to come after you. And I really dig that. It's a really cool card. You're going to see a lot of it. That's all there really is to it. Next, we got Matt and Sora. So start of your main phase on this one. This is going to be after you draw and promote, if you so choose. If you have 8 or more cards in your hand, gain 1 memory. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in hand, gain 1 memory. So very red, well, I say very blue. It's very much a blue effect right there, gaining memory based off of 8 cards in hand. Okay, that's cool. I don't mind that too much. And then your turn, when one of your blue or red Digimon becomes unsuspended, you may suspend this Tamer to return one of your opponent's level 3 Digimon to its owner hand. That, again, very blue. Bouncing rookies back to hand is just one of those things that you see a whole lot. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. Becomes unsuspended, get it bounce to level 3. I don't know how much level 3s we're going to see just chilling on field in this format, but the possibilities are definitely there. So not a bad card for sure. And then moving down into our option cards, first we got Flare Rock Soul for your, looks like we got Omni Shoutmon there. Throw 3 play cost, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. Then one of your Digimon may Digivolve into one Digimon with Shoutmon in its name in your hand for its Digivolution cost. I kind of dig this because it's like you could just Digivolve into the Shoutmon and then immediately Blitz, but this is like, hey, how about we pop something and then Evo and Blitz? So if you're like at 1 memory, this is a really nice card to play at 1 memory because you get multiple things going on. But I don't know if it's really worth including in your deck or not. Maybe there's something there in a Shoutmon deck. I don't see it being like overly amazing. Security effect though, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 5,000 DP or less. That's kind of nice though. I don't mind that too much. Neat little effect. Next we got Atomic Megaloblaster though. This card is a 100% just power creep of the original Atomic Blaster. So main, choose any number of your opponent's Digimon whose total DP adds up to 10,000 DP or less and delete them. Originally it was what, 8,000 DP or less, and so now it's 10,000 DP or less. I mean, that's just okay, so we're just doing better. And then remember though, you combine this with this Evo line though, getting 1,000 DP increases for all those different inheritables there, and then also the one from the Guyomon. Like this thing is popping a ton of stuff for only 6 play cost. Very, very powerful card. Now we got the Gaia Force Zero with super cool artwork. 8 play cost Gaia Force here. But when this card would be used, if you have a Digimon with X antibody in its Digivolution cards, not even on field, just in the Evo chain somewhere, reduce the memory cost of this card by 2. So 6 play cost, Gaia Force essentially, but it's a little bit watered down in the fact that delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 13,000 DP or less, then one of your Digimon with Greymon in its name may attack a player. Like that's cool that you can attack the player, but 13,000 DP or less, usually the times that you want to play Gaia Force is when your opponent has something huge on field, some sort of mega or level 7 that you just can't deal with and there's nothing else you can do. Something like this is really nice, or Gaia Force is really nice because you can clear that Susanomon or clear the Reaper, okay? Something with huge DP this card can't touch, and that's where Gaia Force is still better in that regard. Granted, this could be a 6 play cost, so not too bad, and then immediately kind of like blitzing with a Greymon, also pretty good. So there are clearly obvious, better parts to it, but then also like there's some serious drawbacks at the same time. So just got to find that balance there. And then I believe this is the last card. This is one of the best cards in the entire set, I think. This card is really good. 5 play cost. You may play 1 red or yellow Tamer card from your hand without paying its memory cost. So if you play a level or a 4 play cost Tamer, that's essentially you're paying 1 memory for this card. 1 memory for this card is pretty much what you're doing here. Then one of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3,000 DP for each red or yellow Tamer you have in play for the turn. This basically becomes the new big removal card for Yellow Hybrid. Yellow Hybrid, they very easily get 4 or 5 Tamers in play, and then that's going to be minus 15,000 DP onto something. Yeah, that's just big removal right there. I mean, minus 15k pretty much deletes most things in this game. I mean, if you're just hard playing this from hand, yeah, you're just clearing whatever you need to clear. And again, essentially, it's just 1 memory to play this card because you're going to get to play that Tamer. Okay, now on those cases where you don't get to play the Tamer, yeah, it's going to be a little bit more expensive, but still very powerful. But yeah, just the thought of, oh, this is 1 memory to play this card to like completely murder something on my opponent's side of the field. Yeah, I'm here for it. Really, really stupid powerful. Security, just activate this card's main effect. Yeah, Yellow Hybrid just got more tools. Oh boy. I mean, I know I'll play the deck, but I'm still not going to feel good whenever I do. And that'll do it for the red. Next up, next video will be covering blue.